As a son of God, I am paying very close attention to this election because we have to elect a leader come November. So I'm listening carefully to the words that are flowing from the mouth of the representatives who has put themselves up to be the president. They want me to vote for them to be the president of the United States. Now, as a son of God, I pay close attention to the scriptures. And in the book of 1 Timothy 2, reading from verse 1, it says, I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplication, prayers, intercession, and giving be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all goodness and honesty. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of God. So now the Lord tells us as children of God that we must pray for our leaders. And therefore, if we are going to pray for our leaders, we elect leaders who are led by the counsel of the Most High. So we have to take careful analysis of the statements of how they behave themselves on this campaign, on the trail. The words that they use, are the words uplifting, or is it inspiring? Do we speak to each candidate so that they can bring forth their argument, bring forth their strong cause, to articulate to you and me a vision for me, a vision for you, a vision for the country, what it is you're trying to accomplish? Or do we try to denigrate and disregard and belittle each other? There was a time in America during the election campaign when it was civil. We argue points. We debate and say, we have the best policies. This is the best policy. But I have seen a change for the worse, where now individuals are calling each individual bum and words that they try to use to describe them in a derogatory way, to make them look small, trying to belittle them. So when I look at a leader, does the leader inspire me? I was watching the news and I heard a statement made by one of the political leaders who said, after he was at a conservative Christian meeting, and he said to the crowd, vote for me and I'm going to fix it. If I win, I'm going to fix it so that in the next 4 years, you won't have to vote again. So immediately I heard the crowd cheering and I said, why are they cheering? Because I immediately asked the question, how can you fix it? Are you saying that you are going to put something in place where democracy no longer exists? It becomes an authoritarian rule? Is it going to be a dictatorship? That's the first question that came to my mind. Because how can that statement be made? And I'm sure persons are going to put a spin and say, well, he didn't mean that. If he didn't mean that, then he shouldn't say it. Because we have to hold a person to what they say. If you cannot hold a leader to what they say, then that person should not be a leader. The Bible says when the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. So I am looking to see high quality leadership in this election. I am not looking to see persons calling each other bum and dunce. No. None of those who have put themselves up for leadership, you could classify them as dunce or bum. So why then would we bring the discourse to such a base level? The only way we will bring a discourse to such a base level is what is in us, is what comes out of our mouth, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. So if you're a base person, then baseness is what comes out of our mouth. If you're a crass person, then crassness is what comes out of our mouth. He says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. No, my God says, call no man a fool, because they are in danger of the judgment. So then why should I, because I want to win an election, try to denigrate, try to disregard, try to belittle my opponent? No, I must present to you, those who are going to vote, a vision of tomorrow, and a vision I hope that will captivate your mind, that you give me your vote, because you're going to say, I like your policies better. That's what those who are running for election must be doing. They must be articulating their vision for the future so we can make a choice based on what we see or what we perceive. So we don't want this election where we hear political leaders calling each other bum and trash and dunce. No. Those, when I was growing up, those are the words of a bully. Because bully try to get you angry, so you retaliate. And then you end up in a fight. But a leader inspires and brings out the best out of you. They make you value yourself. That's why Jesus Christ is the greatest leader, who inspired you and inspired me and has inspired millions of people around the world. So as a Christian, I'm concerned. How could an audience of individuals who say they are conservative Christians be shouting and applauding to a statement like that? And I was in a discussion with two friends. We were doing a YouTube program, and we were talking about, will the church be here during the Great Tribulation? And I said to the group, did you hear that statement that was made to a group of conservative Christians? And they said no. So I played it, and both of them listened to it. And to my amazement, one of them said, well, it doesn't matter what he says. Doesn't matter. And I said, it does matter. But he said that because he was trying to defend, because he's a supporter of that leader. And it reminded me when the Bible says, if a leader believeth a lie, all his people are wicked. Because I realize that the people knows better. But to keep supporting that leader, they stifle their conscience. There's no political leader out there right now, both parties, Democrat, Republican, Independent. There's no political leader out there who have heard them open their mouth and say to the audience, I believe that it is important that you all give your hearts and your lives to Jesus Christ. So I know that there's none of these political leaders. Their responsibility is to lead the country and to make it as peaceable for us. Not to bring contention, because if a leader comes in and decide that they want to eliminate democracy and set up literally a dictatorship, then there's going to be political upheaval. Even their supporters who support them, Adolf Hitler convinced his supporters and led Germany to start World War II. Millions of young German men died. Millions of men across the world died. Nations were destroyed. When they invaded Poland, France, you name it. They bombed England for many months. America got into the war Thousands of Americans died. Thousands, millions of men died. But Germany suffered the worst. Why? Because when the blind leads the blind, they both fall in a ditch. So what I want is for it to be peaceable with us. So we need a leader that inspires peace. And how do you know if a leader inspires peace? The leopard cannot change their spot. So listen to the end of their argument. And I am disturbed as a child of God by that statement, which was made by that candidate on the campaign trail, that if we vote for them and they win, they are going to fix it so that we don't have to vote again. I'm saying to all my brothers and sisters, those who are hearing my voice today, you have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to vote, to select the next president of the United States of America. Again, I want you to listen to the rhetoric which is coming out of the mouth of the political leaders. And may the Lord guide you to choose the leader that is going to keep peace in this country and is going to foster the betterment of every man. My name is Paul Edwards, and have a blessed and wonderful day. If a ruler listen to falsehood, all his officials will be wicked. You see, the Bible speaks clearly on leadership, and we have to take what the Bible says. It's our compass, our guide. And Proverbs 29, verse 2 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. We don't want to mourn. We want to rejoice. And therefore, it's very, very, very important that we select the right leaders. And how do you know who the right leader is? Listen to what they are saying. Again, my brothers and sisters, my name is Paul Edwards. Have a blessed and wonderful day.